Hi, I wanted to show you this room to point out to you some of the really important features that make this room look so well. So this is a living room in a 3-bedroom semi-detached property. Looking at it, you'd have the impression that it's part of a much bigger house, but it's actually down to the way that it has been decorated and furnished. So we'll begin with the fundamental things, the things that we couldn't change about this room, but these are important. The first thing is that this is a dual aspect room. That is to say, it has natural light source coming from 2 different directions. In this case, the French doors at the end are east facing and the windows at the other side are west facing. So therefore we'll know that in the morning time, that's more of a sunny spot, and then the sun is going to come round to the other side in the evening time. And the other important point that we cannot change is the proportion of the room. And it's important to be able to work with the proportions that you have in a space. This room is very well proportioned. That is to say, it's not too narrow. And so it means that, for example, it can accommodate a really good sized suite such as this. But similarly, whatever your proportion is, make sure that you don't overbear on its proportions. So if it's a long, narrow room, try not to fill one full wall, for example, with sofas and chairs. So then moving on to the things that we can change and we can alter in a room. The first big thing is lighting. Now, in this room, they've put in, for example, this ceiling light. It's a 2-bulb light fitting, which for this size room is probably, you'd want a 2 to 4 bulb light fitting here. But because it's got this crystal effect finish, it means that the light is very nicely layered out around the room, and it's matched with a pair of wall lights on either side of the chimney breast. So that is actually bringing light focus around the room, and it's spreading and stretching that softly lit space, that soft lighting around the space. The other really important thing about lighting, as you can see here, is the pair of table lamps. Now, I'm a massive fan of table lamps, and table lamps don't have to be terribly expensive. They could be €10, they could be €100. It really, to me, a €10 table lamp bought as a pair will have a really good impact, because you can see here on either side of this lovely suite of furniture, you have matching side tables and matching lamps, okay? So what you're doing with that is that you're stretching the space, you're stretching the eye all around the room, rather than just letting this light fitting do all of the work. And it creates lovely focus and feature activity, whether it's reading or so on. And it also means that, for example, in the evening, if you wanted to, turn off the main light and you still have lovely soft lighting on either side. Now let's talk about the furnishing. This is the most gorgeous suite. It's this beautiful white buttery leather suite of a 3, a 2 and a 1-seater. This suite would normally dominate the space, but it's been softened by these lovely pops of soft furnishings, the blues and the teals and the oranges. And the oranges give a lovely energy, because if everything was white in a space, it would feel quite blank. So here, lovely use has been made of the orange. And then you can see here as well, the orange being brought into these little rugs as well, these little lap blankets. So it's really bringing that theme around the room, the white and the orange and the blue. It's a very clean, crisp look. Also the walls, very neutral, but I really like that they're not white. They're a nice, soft sort of taupe, neutral colour. And then on the other wall here, which you can see in photos later, nicely simply wallpapered sort of silver effect look, which is again bringing the energy around the room and letting the light do the work. So again, just to finish off at the end of the room, you can see that this is a zoned space. So whereas here it's the relaxing, living, dining, reading, sitting in front of the fire, watching the TV, here is the dining space. Very cleverly, what's happened here is that this is an extendable table. So a glass top table always has the impression of letting light through, so it's not over dominating of the space, and this will actually extend out to give probably an 8-seater table. So really nice use of that, and because it's a glass top, it's not blocking the light coming in from the French doors. So it's zoned very well. This is very clearly owning the dining space, and the rest is very clearly owning its own function over there. And again, some nice little floating shelves there on the side with really simple little soft furnishings that give the room some interest and give a little key to, for example, where we are, pebbles and so on, indicating the coastal location of this property. Finally, to finish off, there's a wooden floor here, and it's been really well looked after. If you have a wooden floor in your house, it is a good idea, not every year, maybe every 10 years, to sand it back and varnish again. This one is beautiful. It's got really lovely rich colours to it because it's you know, this floor has been down for 20 years and it's really showing off its lovely grain, and that really sets off a lovely layer for this whole space. It's a beautiful room. Many of the things in this room can be done really easily and really inexpensively. When you think of things like the soft furnishings, if you have a suite that's not looking fabulous, get a throw and put it on it, and then put on your soft furnishings. Light fittings, again, they don't have to be terribly costly. And then to finish off in the curtains, in this room, they've put in lovely blinds, and then down here, some lovely curtains. And it's so easy now to find curtains, and we're so lucky to have great interior shops in the area that we can get these things. So anyway, if I were giving this room a marks out of 10, I think I'd have to go for a 9 because it's so lovely looking, really fresh looking, really easy to maintain as well. Quick wipe with the floor brush and you're going to have this floor looking lovely all the time. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please do subscribe. It helps us enormously and it means that we know we're on the right track. Have a good day.